Alright, so one of the most important things in any language is to learn subject pronouns. And subject pronouns in English are I, you, he, she, we, they, it. You also have you plural, which is like in where I'm from in Georgia, we say y'all. So in French, when you say I is je. You, for one person that you call by their first name, that you are informal with, is tu. She is elle. They, there's two different ways to say they. One is il with an S, which is masculine or mixed. So if you have all men or a mixed group, then it's il. And if you want to say they and you're referring to a group of all girls, then it's feminine, and that would be elle. And notice you don't pronounce the last letter. You don't usually pronounce the last letter of French words. So we have je, tu, elle, which is she, il, and elle, plural, which is they. We also have we, which you can use the word nous, or you can also use the word on to mean we. You, with more than one person, in French, we use vous. And vous can mean y'all, or it can be you formal, which is for someone you don't call by their first name. And then you have he, which is il without an S. Oops, excuse me. Notice that il with an S is they, il without an S is he, so that you add an S to make things plural, just like you do in English. And for it, you either are going to use il or you're going to use elle, because in French they just say he or she instead of saying it usually. Although you can use the word c'est, C''est, to mean it is, c'est. Okay, so now let's look at another way of looking at the subject pronoun. Okay, so this is that other way of looking at the subject pronouns. And here you have the French word, the subject pronoun in French. On this side you have all the singular ones that I've just circled in red. And then in blue, I'm going to show you these are all the plural subject pronouns. Next to them, you have the pronunciation, which is in italics. That's the way they sound in French. And then over to the next side, you have the English meaning, or the explanation, or the definition of each one. So you have je, which means I. Répétez, repeat, je, tu, il, elle, on. And this means one. It also can mean we or people in general. And then over here we have nous, which is we. We have vous, which is you, formal and plural. We have il. You notice you don't pronounce the S even though it's there. It stays silent. Il and elle, which is they, masculine. I also tell people that's mixed because otherwise people forget that it can be a group of boys and girls together. So the M can be for masculine or mixed. And then they, feminine, which is elle. So it's je, tu, il, elle, on. Those are all the singular ones. They refer to one person at a time. And then nous, vous, il, and elle. And those are the plural ones. They refer to groups of people, and you can tell they're plural because there's an S at the end even though you don't pronounce it. That's something that causes people a lot of problems, and that's understanding the difference between between tu and vous. Tu, as I said before, means you, and vous means you. Tu does not have an S, so you know that's just for one person all the time. Vous does have an S, so it can mean y'all, as I say in the South, which is more than one person and you're talking to them, so you're saying you to a group. But they can also be what we call informal. Informal, that means not formal, and formal. And in addition to being singular and plural. So informal, tu, you see the T and the U are kicking back, having a soda together, hanging out, having a good old time. They are informal. They are friends. They call each other by their first name. They're on a first name basis. And then vous is formal. You see two people in suits. They are definitely down to business. You don't see their faces, so they're not someone you know well or that you would consider yourself friends with. This is formal. It's vous, and it can either be for one person or for a group of people. Now, if you're referring to a group, it doesn't have to be formal. It's either formal or it's y'all. So, and you know, y'all is not a formal word. So when you're talking about the plural, it is not a formal thing. Okay, and for those of you who like to have a different kind of explanation of grammar, in French, the subject of a French sentence is also the person or thing that is doing something or being described. Just as in English, it can be a proper name, a noun, or a pronoun. Sophie aime le chocolat. That means Sophie likes chocolate, and there Sophie is a proper name. Les amis adorent la pizza. The friends love the pizza. And les amis is just a simple noun, the friends. Il s'appelle Lucien. Il is he. It replaces Lucien in the sentence. It's a pronoun. French pronouns also stand for a noun or a proper noun. The subject pronouns in French are je or je apostrophe, which means I, tu, which means you, il, which means he, elle, which means she, nous, which means we, vous, which means you, and that is you formal or you plural. You plural can also be described as being y'all. Il, which is they, masculine or a mixed group, and elle, which is they, feminine or a group of girls. To say you, use tu to talk to a friend or family member. Use vous to talk to more than one person or to an adult who is not a family member. To say they, use elle when you are talking about two or more females. Use il when you are talking about a group of males or a mixed group of males and females. Going back to the this explanation here of tu and vous. I do not like to say a family member because we all have family members that may be distant from us that we don't know well. But you might use vous with them. Generally speaking, though, you would use vous with someone you do not call by their first name, or that's not close to you, like your mom or your dad. And you would use tu to talk to someone who you do call by their first name. So that's just a general rule of thumb to keep that in mind. Au revoir.